few months ago, for my 18th birthday, my best friend asked, "Hey Zereen, what can I get for you?" I looked down at a list of items that I had written down over the year that appealed to me at the time, but were now valueless. I didn't know how to answer, but instead she insisted, "Name something that I can buy for you." I appreciated the kind thought, but I knew she couldn't buy for me what I truly wanted. We live in a society today where the American dream is becoming more and more materialistic because it revolves around the consumption of luxury goods. We're obsessed with shopping and buying unnecessary items, all because the attainment and the appeal of these items temporarily fills the void of our need to be loved, to belong, and to have a higher self-esteem and status in society. Yet, there is a correlation between materialism and unhappiness, or shall I say, a causation. You see, materialism is one of the main causes behind everyone's misery today. Why? Because in order to maintain a high-profile image, people have to spend tons of money, and eventually they become obsessed with material goods. People want to have the best of things so as to prove themselves superior over others. And all of this requires a lot of time, effort, and wealth, which, if you stop and think about, is it really worth it? Are material goods sufficient to supplement you with true joy and happiness? You see, in reality, materialism forces us into this comparison with the possessions of others. We're absorbed into this endless competition that our desire to keep wanting more to enhance our image or increase our authority actually leaves us feeling empty and unsatisfied, complacent, if you will. It was Mark Twain who once said that comparison is the death of joy, and I wholeheartedly agree. Yes, comparison may be a valuable source of growth and motivation if utilized appropriately. But the majority of the time, it is damaging to your sense of self because what you are comparing against is inaccurate information, leading to one of my favorite topics to discuss that I first learned of in my creative writing class called the Instagram effect. And since we all need a platform to display our material possessions and unconsciously fall into the trap of comparison, Instagram actually serves as an ideal foundation for that. So the idea behind the Instagram effect is that what people present to the outside world is usually an edited version of their reality. You're depicting a polished life, stretching the truth, leaving out the negatives, and creating an illusion of the type of person that you desire to be, not who you really are. But what you have to realize is that when you're cropping your photos to make them look all perfect and aesthetic, you're actually cropping out your own reality. And studies show that living an unauthentic life is actually a contributing factor of unhappiness. About 2 years ago, an Australian teenager by the name of Asena O'Neill, who had over 500,000 followers on Instagram and modeled products for various companies online, actually quit Instagram. But why? Why would someone who made over $1,500 per post suddenly just give up all that money? Well, the truth was later depicted in the 96 captions she made edits to, revealing the manipulation, mundanity, and insecurity behind each photo. Asena claimed that the Instagram platform was contrived perfection made to get attention, and so she quit social media. But she's not wrong. How often do we find ourselves constantly checking Instagram to see the number of likes we obtained on a photo? How often do we count the number of followers we have only to unfollow someone if they're not following us back? I myself have taken numerous pauses in between my homework just to check the amount of likes I received on a photo, or attempted to maintain an aesthetic feed which would only allow me to post certain photos that I didn't care about, instead of the ones that I truly wish to share the joy of. As Asena stated, we're no longer living a 3D life, but being sucked into this virtual reality that, well, isn't even reality. And so once again, this competitive nature arises. People are posting photos of their designer brand purse that they just bought, or their expensive new shoes. And the lengths that we go to create these deceitful images is absolutely ridiculous. But what you have to realize is that you are comparing your behind the scenes with someone else's highlight reel.
And if comparing is how you evaluate your self-worth, then you're losing the battle, because there will always be someone who's bigger, better, stronger, prettier, smarter, kinder, and so on. And so you accept it and you move on. Acceptance actually being one of the key essentials of happiness. So everything that I've talked about today ultimately has a devastating toll on happiness. In fact, the happiness that materialism is supposed to provide isn't even authentic. It's artificial. Simply a supplement used to recreate these emotions that we desire to experience. Our definition of being content today, that some item will make us happy, is simply a product of our materialistic society that, in truth, will never give you the same valuable experiences some intangible things can give you. Personally, something that I value very much is friendship, because it produces companionship, joy, warmth, and the most loud, pure, but obnoxious laughs. Things that material goods can't give me. Just recently, I lost a friendship. A friendship with someone that I would give up all my material goods for in a heartbeat, just to have it back, because it made me genuinely happy. Unlike all these other items that are trying way too hard to replicate an emotion that simply can't be.
A friendship that I wanted back as a gift for my 18th birthday. And maybe friendship isn't your thing. Well then, live for the little moments in life that make you smile. For example, taking your first bite into a freshly hot-baked cinnamon roll, or curling into bed on a Friday night after a long week and finally being able to breathe, because who doesn't love the weekends? And if you notice, all of these moments have one factor in common. They're irreplaceable. So I guess the conversation now is, okay, so what? What am I supposed to do now? Well, I'm not telling you to dispose of
all your items and lead a minimalistic life. Neither am I trying to reprimand Instagram. True happiness isn't that hard to find once you learn to let go of all these things that are taking up way too much space and preventing room for other things that bring you true joy, such as spending time with friends and family, giving back to one another, and random acts of kindness. It is only then that we will be truly satisfied and find that we are comparing ourselves significantly less than before. Remember, at the end of the day, the greatest form of wealth is happiness. Thank you.